before we get started, I want to go ahead and say thank you guys so much for actually submitting your creations. This was super fun to be able to judge alongside Piece of Crap, Saku's Mind, Elka Gaming, and Typhus. Welcome to the Horror PGJam number 2. I gotta be honest with you guys, man, this right here was phenomenal. Okay, the quality of creations overall, in my opinion, is better than last year's. That's just what I feel like personally. So stay tuned. This is great. Right here, you're about to listen to the top 3 picks that we had before we played together. Some of our answers actually changed, so that's interesting. You want to go ahead and watch out for that. But yeah, we did that. Gave our final answers at the end, as well as I talked with the winners to let them know, like, hey, you know, they won, and what did they feel like, you know, what did they do for the levels, how did they come up with the idea, what advice do they have for people who are wanting to go ahead and maybe improve their creations for next PGJam or just in general. But yeah, enjoy the video. So we have Elka Gaming, Piece of Craft, Saku's Mind, and Typhus. Typhus and Piece of Craft are 2 of the winners for last PGJam, and we decided to go ahead and get them to judge alongside us. So you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourselves? And
I made a bunch of monsters. That's about it. What about you, Piece of Craft?
I do animations and mostly character design work in Dreams, and that's pretty much what my judge is going to be on.
Hello, I'm Elka Gaming. I'm creator of the Avatar fan game called 4 Seasons, and yeah, I'm judging, trying to find the best game feel and most objective opinion on the games, basically.
all right, and Saku's Mind.
I'm an artist. I specialize in environment, and I'm really interested in animation as well. Looking forward to see what we got today.
The reason I like that one so much is because it was really the only one where I didn't get like completely lost, I guess. Like I knew exactly what to do, and like it felt like I was like actually like discovering this world as I was playing it. The problem with like most of these that I found was that like there's ways where you'd get stuck and it was just kind of annoying. But with this one, it was like, you know, there's like a light pointing towards this lever, and once you pull the lever, it like turns on these other lights. Like it really just points you in the direction you're supposed to go. And I found that to be really nice, and it was a good like atmosphere to it and everything, and I was like, this is like a mystery I actually wanted to solve for this game. So that one was just honestly like the best one that I played.
Monster was incredible. Probably, honestly speaking, probably the best looking monster in this entire PGJam. But that was like the thing that I felt like, oh man, this is about to get really good, and it's like, nah, that's it. It ends right there. It was also that music that was playing in the office that was really, really interesting. It just felt like it was right, you know, perfect for the atmosphere. The art that was on the wall and the frame, it's incredible. Like you guys gonna see what I'm talking about in here. But I thought that was incredible.
I think that one was really technically impressive in a lot of ways. A lot of the animations and effects, it was really clear where to go. It was very oppressive, dark atmosphere, some great sound design in that one, and all the same with the other 2 actually. Amazing sound design all around. Gets overlooked a lot, I think, especially for horror games. It's integral to the atmosphere. If you play a horror game with the sound off, it just loses all point basically. So yeah.
Web of Metal. In that game, I really liked the audio design, the underwater atmosphere. The visuals were pretty nice, and you were just dropped in, but somehow the story was woven around it, and it kind of made sense. The camera movements where you like go in and out of the scenes was really nice and really well done. Especially for this one, I felt like this was the strongest in level design. It was really clear where you have to go, and apart from the levels actually being like all random like metal things, it was always clear where you have to go. And the only minus point for that one for me was that the camera was a little too shaky and you were able to move too fast with the camera too. I feel like underwater it would need to be a little bit slower than that, but other than that it was a really nice experience.
Like Elka said, you kind of know where to go, even though it's a lot of the same assets and like it's all the same like metal kind of look to it. You still know where to go for some reason, and it's just like, well, the lack of like underwater like creatures kind of was a little weird to me because you're underwater in the game, but like it doesn't look like it as much. It just feels like kind of like a foggy area. But yeah, I found that one to be another one that I wanted to see more of. Like I wanted to explore this world a little more and know what was going on.
Yeah, like if the other games even had this level of atmosphere, like I think it would be clear as day that they would run. Because the atmosphere in here is undeniable. But everything else, I was confused. Like, okay, underwater, but how did I get here? Like, why is it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just things like that.
Yeah, and I don't mind that as much, but they could sell the underwater a little more. Like, there's no fish swimming around. There's no like, I was expecting to look up and see like there's a giant thing swim by, and like that would really creep me out. But it just feels like if you didn't hear the underwater sounds, it just feels like kind of like a groggy like dream kind of sequence.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was supposed to be underwater, I'll be honest.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, like
I thought it was exactly
I knew it was underwater just from the sound and then like the little particles, I guess.
Yeah.
You have the bubbles else.
Yeah, but if you saw like things swimming above you or like swimming by, that would be just enough to like make it maybe even push it to my second place, because I just like this setting so much. Like it looks way different than everything else. Like we got like 3 set in space, like it's the same thing over and over, but this one's like some creepy underwater like metal labyrinth. Like I did not expect to see that like out of nowhere, right? So it was cool seeing this because this is so different to everything else that I played on there.
I can't help but feel there's a bit of a missed opportunity to have a giant gnarly fish monster just chomping at you through all those
exactly. That's why it's lower. That's why it's third for me, because there's no like Leviathan. There's nothing that really.
It would have been so cool.
Be honored. Your blood will feed his glory.
But the Red Prophet I thought was incredible. I thought it was really well polished. I thought the enemies were pretty cool looking and they were fun to kill. They had really good animations and feedback when you shot them. The puzzles were great. The atmosphere was, I thought, really cool. The story with the doll, the creepy doll stuck to the radio and the dead girl speaking, oh not the dead girl, the cult girl speaking through the radio with the doll attached to it and jiggling around. I thought that was genius. I thought that was a really cool way to incorporate a creepy doll in your character. It was all sculpted really well. They're just really cool game. I liked it a lot. Really interesting puzzles as well. Not too hard, pretty easy, but just visually cool and atmospheric. And the whole story, the theme with the cults, all those writings were creepy and awesome. I really liked it. So yeah, that would be my number one. Psycho Self.
I felt like the intro for the Red Prophet was a little weak, but then once you get underground, the underground area felt like very dense. The sound design there was really, really nice. The scopes were nice. Some minus points for that would be that you could cheese pretty much every enemy when you were far away, and they were like really easy to kill actually.
The Red Prophet, yeah, the Red Prophet. The reason why I have this one as number 2 is because I felt like this one felt like an actual full game. Like you had the weapon, the intro was good. It wasn't the greatest, but it was like boom, off the bat he's a policeman and he has to go ahead and investigate and find this child or whatnot. So boom, you're the policeman, you have your weapon, you have the enemies. The level design I thought was really interesting too, to be honest. With the puzzles, the fact that you had the girl and the doll, and the voice acting for that, I think it was actually pretty good, right? It was interesting. It was like, okay, what's going on? And then you get the plot twist at the end, right, where it turns out, oh, actually she's not the girl that you thought she was, and she ends up killing you at the end. So I thought that was cool.
Psycho Self was a really nice short experience. We were actually talking before the actual call that it feels like an intro to a real well-made game, and I felt the same. The animation was really clean, the gameplay was fluid, and yeah, it just overall felt really nice and like a finished piece.
The second for me would be Psycho Self, because just the animations alone bring it up to second place for me. Like it's not really that as interactive as Miscreation, and that's honestly the only reason it's in second is because of that. But it does feel like Elka said, where it feels like a intro to this giant game that like I want to see more of, and that's why it's in second place, because it's just I want to see more of that world.
Definitely very close number 2. Really just everything Elka basically said about it. Really polished, really well made. Just everything was perfect. The monsters were cool as well. They were wet and creepy and really well made. Vizium was a great monster sculptor, turns out, among other things. It was the only thing I had about it is it just felt like it was getting good when it ended. It just felt like the game was going to kick off. Like, man, this is going to be one of the greatest games ever, and then it just ends, which is a compliment in a way. But yeah, it was the quality made up for it, I'd say.
The reason why I have that one as number 1 is just simply because the animation in that was just absolutely amazing. The best animation I think in the entire PGJam. The sound design, just right off the bat, was clear what was happening. Right, the ghost was trying to possess you, but it couldn't because you have like magic things in your arms, and it is possessing the guy through the window. And then you have like a time limit right off the bat. And I was like, you hold up. The way he was banging on the door, I'm like, I don't actually like leave this area, he's gonna kill me, and he ends up killing me. So I like the idea of that, and the idea of the fact that when the demon possesses the prisoners, like he was trying to basically like he kept trying to go to the next prisoner over and over again to try to get you. And as he was doing that, there was more blood, so the blood was like literally spilling all over you, and it was getting harder to see. So things like that is really, really nice. I will say though, the con, which I think everyone here said, is the fact that it's super short. Honestly, that is the biggest con. Like it was just so polished, but it was so short. So based on the score that we have here from Elka Gaming calculating the points, we had Elka Gaming choose Psycho Self as number 1, number 2 as Miscreation, number 3 was Web of Metal. For Piece of Craft, he chose first as Miscreation, second as Psycho Self, and third as Web of Metal. Typhus, we had Psycho Self as number 1, Red Prophet as number 2, Miscreation as number 3, and I chose Psycho Self for number 1, Miscreation for number 2, Red Prophet number 3, and Saku chose Psycho for number 1, Miscreation for number 2, and Red Prophet for number 3. So in total, it came out to having Psycho Self as first with 14 points, Miscreation as number 2 with 10 points, and then Red Prophet is number 3, 4 points. So that's us judging it. Honestly, this was really tough. We had to replay it and then rejudge and then figure out what felt like, deserved to be top 3, because there was just so many good points and so many good parts and so many levels we played. That was kind of hard. But honestly, with this final result, I honestly feel like this is perfect. What do you guys think?
I'm very happy with these results. Yeah, this looks right to me.
Looks right to me too, yeah.
And what would you guys say is like your honorable mention for Jam?
Definitely Sharklight is an honorable mention. I thought that was incredibly well made, really cool combat. It was just fun and satisfying. It just wasn't quite horror.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's more like action.
It had some atmosphere in it, some cool sound design and everything, but it just wouldn't feel right. I don't know, putting it up. But as a game, it's definitely up there. It's really impressed with that one.
So another thing that I feel like deserves to be an honorable mention is Web of Metal. I think that one was really, really nice in terms of the atmosphere. It's just there was not really much going for it that made me feel like it deserved to be top 3 just for me. But I think that's an honorable mention. Heck, even 2 of the judges had that as top 3, so it definitely deserves to be an honorable mention for sure. Hey, what's up, man?
Not much. I'm writing a report, but I have to set that aside because my heart's beating through my chest, so that's fine.
So yeah, I'm calling you first because I just want to go ahead and congratulate you. You won the PGJam.
Oh, my heart. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Like we were just judging, we were replaying, and we just had to like really check all the creations yet again because it was so difficult. There was so many good ones.
It was crazy the quality of the creations that came out this time.
Oh yeah.
I didn't get to play any from the last PGJam. Like, tell me, like, compared to then, was there a quality jump or what?
So that's a good question you asked. With the PGJam for last one, I do feel like because the first one that was first place was actually a collaborator of Piece of Craft, Typhus, and a guy named Blake. Yeah. I feel like that one was really like it's so hard to say. Like yours is on that level, in my opinion. Yeah. It was very hard to say. And then the second one was on that one too was really close to this one. But I will say that the quality of overall creation was higher on PGJam 2 than the overall creations in PGJam 1.
You launch something like that, and all of a sudden we just get this huge selection of awesome games to play.
Oh, yeah.
So cool.
Oh yeah.
So cool.
So how long have you been actually creating in Dreams?
So I am mostly a logic guy. So I specialize in math and stuff like that. And I make tools for people, kind of like general tools, right? And Nautical Squatch, who was streaming one day, he was making or starting a game. It was Dead Zone 2. And I was just like, I want to help this guy out on stream. And so I started kind of walking him through some programming and some logic, and he offered me kind of like a role to work on it. And so from that point on, I kind of like graduated from just doing random logic to programming a full-on game. And I got to meet a bunch of these awesome people. So Typhus was there, Piece of Craft was there occasionally, Coinum showed up a bit later. We have Sounds Like Treble, who's this amazing audio guy, and then Nautical Squatch, of course, who was kind of directing the game. But my experiences working with them and kind of understanding how to put together a game really helped me out with, like, how do I set this up? What things do I prioritize? Like, that whole theme visually, that was done in a matter of 2 days. So the majority of the time, that was all like gray box. And the majority of my time was dedicated to getting those cinematics to feel like just right, like no weird cuts, no janky camera movement, get everything to be as smooth as I can. And I just like I threw everything at the polish, like right near the end.
Wow.
And yeah, I think it turned out great.
Yeah, that's impressive stuff, man. Do you have any advice you would give like you played some of the creations in the PGJam, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any advice you would give people to on what you think would have been the best direction in terms of trying to get to the top 3 maybe, or even winning this whole thing?
Okay, yeah. So whenever you're making a game, you have to have either some experience or talk to someone with experience about what things take the most time. All right. Usually environments and things like that, they can actually be done fairly quickly, especially if you're really quick with it. And especially if you're willing to go into the Dreamverse and grab existing assets, right? You can sit there and meticulously work on it, but there are certain things that take the more time that you should focus on first. One of the big ones, animations, cinematics. Those things take a long time to get polished. And if you don't focus on them at first, you're going to end up with something that's shaky and janky in the end. All right. So after that, you want to make sure you have good story related props. So these are props that you're going to be seeing right in your face. So in my game, there was a photocopier in that office room. I grabbed that from the Dreamiverse, right? But that tablet that you break in the office, or the dead bodies, or things like that, things that were going to be center stage during cinematics and stuff, I decided to make those myself because I wanted to make sure that they had the level of quality that would stand up in those cinematics. And then make sure you got a good story. I know gameplay is a really big one, but there are a lot of templates in the Dreamiverse, especially for FPS shooters, that you can add on top of and make your own. So don't be too worried about getting something that looks super polished and building it from the ground up. Don't be afraid to use what's out there. And then get your environment looking good, get your lighting good. Use stickers for my entire scene. All of the walls, the ceiling, the floor, that is one concrete slab. It's one.
Wow.
And I use stickers for the textures for everything. So please, you can be meticulous in making 50 variants of walls and stuff like that. But if you're crunched for time, use stickers. All right? That is the best advice I can give you for creating or breaking up textures of walls that look like they're too flat, stuff like that. Also, don't be afraid of the flex. If you look at my scene and you stand up really close to a wall, you'll notice that I actually use the flex to create the texture. So there were a few scenes that I saw where people do a trick to increase the texture of a wall where they take a spinning donut and they just smear it across. The problem is when you crank up the detail with the flex, you can tell that's a smeared donut. So don't be afraid to go through with a looseness brush while in sculpt mode and break up some of the texture a little bit, make it a bit more chaotic. That'll give you more grunge. And I know people don't like the Dream Fleck look a whole lot, but it can work. So
no idea what happened there with the audio, but just want to go ahead and congratulate you yet again, Physium, for winning first place. Hello, Conan.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, man?
I'm doing good. Really nervous though.
Yeah, I'm just calling to let you know that you came second place in the PGJam.
My God, no way.
Yep.
You're kidding. Oh my God.
Yeah,
thank you,
man. Your level was amazing. It was actually a very close second with you and Psycho Self for number 1. Very close.
My God.
Yep.
Oh, I'm so proud for Visium as well. Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh,
he really deserves it as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh my God, this is incredible. Oh my God, thank you so much.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to go ahead and say, because one thing that we were talking about with your level is the fact that your creation was very clear on where you're supposed to go. And there was so many things that you had that was nice, like the projector that you did, the music that you had, the monster.
Thank you.
In my opinion, is the best monster in the whole PGJam. That was incredible.
Oh, damn, really?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. So do you have anything you want to go ahead and talk about your level, how you came up with the idea, all these different things that you focused on to try to go ahead and enter this PGJam?
Yeah, sure. Like, I wasn't even sure if I was like going to even enter this jam in the first place. The main reason why I did was because I'm working on a game right now called Dead Zone, and I was given the task of making a lab for the game. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to do like two birds, one stone, like make the map for a lab, and if the jam doesn't work out, it'll still be used for the game.
Right.
So I based it in like a Soviet lab, and I made sure to keep an eye on like the gameplay elements, make sure that like it flows well, and I tried to add a bit of mystery to like almost tell a story in a way of them experimenting on these aliens. And I'm really glad that I think Pock actually noticed, like he actually translated some of the projections, which is like really good. I'm really happy he did that.
Okay.
And yeah, I made sure to like doodle all these layouts for the map and the design for the boss as well. That was like a big idea I thought of. Mainly inspired by The Thing, like the alien. And yeah, like if I had more time, I would add a whole lot more. It was just me, so
Yeah.
yeah.
That was impressive.
It was a lot of
one thing I will say is that you and Physium, one thing I like is that y'all focus a lot on quality. Like you didn't do too big, you know, to where it's like it's not manageable. You know, that's one thing I wanted to go and say. That's amazing. Do you have any advice you want to give? Like,
just to anyone like in the future, I'd definitely say don't go for like a high achieving like big grand game. Go for something that's achievable and just try and make a working demo, and then try and scratch up on that and try and improve it with the quality. Because honestly, like for me, I much prefer playing like a 5-minute quality game rather than like a 20-minute like sort of half finished game. So
right.
Yeah, thank you so much though.
Yeah, no problem, man. You thinking of trying any other PG jams, or is this like a one and done thing? Like he's like, hey, I'm in, I'm out.
I think I'm in and out.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem, man. Have a good day. Hey, I just want to go ahead and say congratulations. You came 3rd place for the PG Jam.
3rd?
Yeah.
Yes, that's cool. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Really, really cool.
No problem. How did you make the game?
Alors, comment on a fait le jeu? How we did? In fact, it was Ragnar who had the first idea of making that, and he had. He pictured that he wanted to have a progression, in fact, and talking about some things that will be revealed at the end. And so he needed to have an animator who is Mouflar, who did all the animations, and somebody for the sound design. It was me, sound design and lighting and stuff like that. Ragnar did all the architectures, and Nabilbot, who was the 4th guy, made the first scene, in fact. Okay. And so we were a team of 4 people, and so we talked.
Okay.
No, it was great to make it that way.
That's great.
Scénario très inspiré de film, si jamais.
Just want to go ahead and say congratulations again for you guys coming in 3rd place.
It was so great because, you know, we were so afraid about the bugs of the letters, and so, but we posted the Red Prophet, and we say, oh no, we cannot correct correct it, you know. We cannot do that now because it's too late, and we have to wait now with the bugs. So sorry for that. But it's so great to be because the selection was so huge and very, very good, and we are very honored to be third, in fact. And thank you for this event.
And that concludes the PGJam 2. This was absolutely fun to be a part of. I'm actually gonna go ahead and announce the PGJam 3 in basically tomorrow or the day after. So look out for that. It's gonna be exciting to see what people make. And I'll go ahead and get the details and everything in that video. But thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.